Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight on Top Split TV we kick off season 29 of Sunday Night Lights, where myself, Alex McKellar, and the chaotic one himself, Corey Steinhauser, are back for another season of the best skippy racing you will find anywhere, anytime. Corey, welcome back, mate. Another big season ahead of us.
Absolutely, Alex. Season 29. I can't believe it's here already. It feels like just yesterday. We were wrapping things up last season, but great field of cars out there. 48-22 strength of field, and a free track to kick things off, which has definitely bolstered the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We've kicked off the season really well with participation. These these races this week, this track scene's a good participation compared to last season. 3 free tracks to kick us off, and kicking us off in style will be car number 1 out there tonight, Sam Devantier, the cowboy. Oh, I don't know if I even kept my thing. Did I keep my thing? I did. Hang on. There it is. He's back. We haven't seen him for a while, but he's back, leading the ANZ charge, of course. Leading the UK and I charge will be Miles Head Racing, Adam Miles. Great to see him back, having another crack at the title. Pablo Espes, there's a name we haven't seen in a little while. The Spaniard, I should say, back in action as car number 3. He's come back with a 7k I rating, and he's, right up there with some of the best going around. Great to see the young man back in the saddle. Dario Frattini joins us once again this season, and yet another livery as car number 4 out there. Tim Hendrickson, Team Torpedoes, Flying Dutchman, is back once again. He's been out there for a few races this week and has really had the pace to match it with the absolute best going around. There's a few guys out there this week who've just had blistering pace, and Tim's one of them. Dimitri Philippides, he's not from France, I can tell you that. he's living in Asia at the moment. He's got an Australian accent. Dimitri's back. Great fellow, streaming on Twitch at the moment. Tiger Dim, I think, is the handle there. He's a great fellow. He's had good pace this week as well as Dimitri. Rasmus Vori, I think it's pronounced. I checked this week. Another one, the Finnish driver with really, really good pace here this week. So great to see Rasmus out there. Car number 8, which means he's seated number 8. is Captain 499, Neil Gardner. Another one back for another tilt at Sunday Night Lights. Loris Amadio, the Italian, we haven't seen him in a while, but he's back. Great to see him. Johnny Frattini is the other Italian driver. Kevin Budgeon, another one we haven't seen for a while in the skips. Sort of had a bit of an hiatus through the season, but it's great to see him back there, Corey, as Vuori takes the early provisional pole.
That's exactly right, Alex. Now kicking off with the 11th plated car, Team VDR Milo's boss man, Mr. Russell Clark. From AusNZ, we have Jeff Randall from the UK and I as a 12th plated car. And then we have another Milo spec livery with Luke Winton making a return. Great to see Luke out there for AusNZ. We've got Paul Wilson from AusNZ as our 14th plated car. Braden Martin from the Locked On lads out there as our 15th plated car. It's great to see Braden out there. We don't see him very often. We've got Gregory Adams, the purple wheels out there for Team Clowns. No bossman of Team Clowns out there, no Vasco. So that's a little bit sad. And wrapping things up, we've got Rafa Cerna from Iberia as our 17th plated car tonight, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Some quick guys out there as well. Viori currently setting the pace with a 3.5, which is fantastic. Hendrickson surprisingly not at the top of the pops. Philippides cooling down as well. I think Adams is one of the few that are still, Budgeon's still out there setting a lap. Adams is about to set his second time. He's doing pretty well. What's he done there? 4.7. Geez, he's good way up the order there in P11. Who else is still out there? Hendrickson slowing down. These guys not setting the world on fire with their second laps, which has often been the case here this week. Now, one of the guys who's very fast around here, Adam Miles from Miles Head Racing, coming to set his second lap using all the exit curbing. Drops it in P5. Good time there for Adam, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex has My camera angle's been a little bit weird. I've locked onto Luke Whitten, currently P10, but I think he's actually already finished his laps. I'm not sure who is still out there running in anger. Neil's just
crossed the line,
finished.
yeah. And then
Yeah,
we've
and
got
he's gone to P7. Kevin Budgeon's on track, and he's just finished his second lap, and he's in P8. Got Tim Hendrickson still out there as well, but he's finished.
yeah, I think he
So
must have
I
won
think
X or
that's just
something.
about everyone.
Yeah, that's everyone. I think he won X or something. Anyway, that's the end of it, and we're gridding up. So I'll just run through the grid, folks. Round 1 from Tsukuba, season 29 Sunday Night Lights. Rasmus Viori from Finland. It's a great time. 3-5, puts it on pole. Pablo Espes, welcome back to the series. Joins him on the front row, just half a tenth behind. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo didn't get his second lap in. Still, his first lap good enough to leave him on the second row, starting out of P3. Dimitri Filipides once again showing he's had some really good pace here this week. Starts out on the second row in 4th. Adam Miles from Miles Head Racing starts in 5th. Tough to pass at this track, so he will be looking for his maiden win, but starting in the third row. Dario Frattini for FPM Cube Controls. There you go. There's a mouthful. The Italian driver starting at 6th. Neil Gardner for ANZ starting out of 7th tonight. Kevin Budgeon for Nippy Racing back in the series, starting from the 4th row out of 8th. Loris Amadio for Waverley Racing Team. Great to see Loris back in the series. He starts out of 9th. Luke Whitten similarly leading with Neil, along with Neil Gardner, the ANZ chart starting out of 10th tonight with Speedy Snails driver, a bit short of a run. Sam Devante's been racing the V8s this week. He starts out of 11th. Greg Adams for Team Clouds, great starting position for him out of 12th. 13th off the grid will be Paul Wilson from ANZ. Rafa Cerna from Iberia out of 14th. Braden Martin for Locked On Racing out of 15th. Russell Clark III for Team Milo out of 16th. Jeff Randall for UK&I out of 17th. And rounds out your starting field. 23 laps around here, Corey. It's action-packed, tough passing, elbows out at times, and we're getting ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. I just did a league race here on Friday, actually, on the regular layout. So it should be interesting to see how these guys handle the extra corner of the moto layout, as we are often racing the green flags out. Brett the flagman vigorously waving his flag. And down into turn 1, it looks like Pablo Espes with the challenge couldn't quite get there. And Tim Hendrickson is going to try and convert that outside
Whoa,
run
big one in the background.
But in the background, Sam Devantia has come a grief, Alex.
Yeah, already gone is Devantia. We'll have a look at that one in a minute. Interestingly, the odd-numbered cars, there's in pole, and the odd numbers as they start through the field start on the outside of turn 1. It gives him the inside to turn 4, but it's awkward, and he can find himself defending from the get-go as we saw at the start there. Let's go see if I can find what happened to Sam. I'm just going to see if this was it. Oh, no, that was a bit late. I want to go back a bit and just see if I can't capture what happened to Sam. 3 wide, and then the black and white car there, who is car number 9. Loris Amadio, unfortunately, 3 wide just didn't work for them that time, and the Cowboys come off, I'm going to say, 3rd best out of that one, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And while you're looking at the replay, there was a little bit of drama in the penultimate corner as well. Contact between Team BDR, Milo's Russell Clark, and Jeff Randall. And both of them have made a trip down the pit lane, Alex.
Yeah, just watching it now. What I think it is. Oh, Martin's into the rear, and Randall, yeah. Martin's just put the nose up the inside of the hairpin there at turn 9. That's turned Russell, and Randall's been caught up in that one, unfortunately. That's a shame for all involved there, and I'm sure there'll be appropriate apology cards in the mail and all the rest of it. But we're back up front now. Viori leading the way. Viori, I think I'll pronounce that right. Google helped me out with that one, but I'm not sure I've got it quite right yet. But Viori, he's leading the way. Hendrickson, I thought, would be more aggressively challenging Espes for P2, but I think that'll come. Give it a time, and that will come. Really impressed with Filipides this week. His pace has been fantastic. I don't think we've seen him this far up the order in an SNL race. And he's got Frattini hot on his heels. Those two had to come together in the warm-up race. Unfortunately, Frattini turned through this very corner, actually, at turn 5 and 6 through the unique moto layout chicane. And both of them ended up well down the order as a result. I think there'll be a bit more caution this time round, but no doubt frustrating for both. As you can imagine, Corey, you're almost reliving a nightmare from the race before. These two are in this order, about this position in the field last race, and it all came a cropper.
Well, let's hope that they don't make contact, because that would definitely be pretty terrible. But isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. So let's hope that these guys can keep it together, as there was almost a speculator being thrown there for Pablo Espes for the lead. And they come out with just a little bit of overlap there, but Espes will have to drop back into second, as he's searching around, trying to look for a way around Viori. And it's going to be hard for him to try and find a place to make an overtake, because this is, as we've described, Alex, a very difficult place to overtake. But that does not mean it's impossible. Turns 9, the penultimate hairpin, and turn 10, the big sweeping final corner. Definitely a couple of chances there, and even down into turn 1, if you can hold your momentum right from the final corner.
Absolutely, mate. I've done a fair bit of racing here this week. I can tell you turn 4's not a great place to overtake. Apologies again, Dimitri. Turn 9 at the hairpin, as you say, then through this final sweeping corner can really set you up, but through here it can be done, and then again through turn 1. Yeah, there's really 3 places. It can take you half a lap to set it up, as we see once again side by side into the braking zone. This time Espes much further up the inside, but we will see Viori will have the run on the outside and also then get the inside. Now what this does, that attacking does, it really opens the door for Hendrickson almost to have a crack then in the braking zone through here. And the chances are he won't get it done through turn 4. It's more likely that it'll come through the actually into turn 9 once they exit this chicane at 5, 6, 7. They'll come through the sweeping turn 8, all the track and a bit of the grass being used by the lead pack here. Oh, as Hendrickson throws a big dummy down the inside, pulls out of it at the last minute. Espes closes the door and they live to fight another day, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex, and the racing is getting really intense already. We're only on lap 5 of 23, don't forget. So there's still a lot of race to go. The lap times around here just over the 1 minute bracket. 1 minute 3 so far as the fast lap of the race by Viori out front. Now here goes Espes trying to look up the inside again. He's not as far up as he was last time, although he gets a really good run mid-corner. This is going to leave him on the outside of turn 4 though, just going to leave him open to attack from Hendrickson if he stays out there. Still side by side they go. The outside is a viable passing opportunity at turn 4, but I don't think he's going to pull it off. And now Tim Hendrickson right there as well, trying to buy into this battle as they continue to go side by side, Alex.
Continue on the exit then of the central moto chicane. Now on the run down to turn 9. Spectacular driving from these guys up front. Oh, Espes, he saw what Hendrickson did the lap before. Again has to pull out of it, but what has that disrupted Viori's run? No, it hasn't, but it's put him under threat, and the late move by Hendrickson was countered. Side by side they'll go into the final corner. Viori gets out of the way. Espes and Hendrickson side by side. Will the over-under come into play? Will Hendrickson try and come underneath Espes? Yes, he will. That's beautiful. He's done the over-under. The tight line on the inside, leaving Espes open to attack at turn 1 as Hendrickson gets underneath him, but can Espes defend around the outside so well as Viori has the laps before? No, Hendrickson gets it done. He gets a little bump for his trouble, and he gives one back in return. Espes comes back again up the inside at 4. Hendrickson will get the drive using the camber of the corner and gets the job done. 3/4 a lap to get that done, Corey, but get it done he did.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, and they were battling hard for that one too. I think there might have been a little bit of malice there from Hendrickson. In the laps previously, I noticed that Espes really starved him for room coming out of that first corner, going into the chicanes of 2 and 3. So let's hope that they calm down a little bit now, as there's still so much race to go. It'll be a shame for us to lose some of these front runners right now. But what that little bit of battling has done is not only has it stunted the run from Bury a little bit, but it's also brought Philippides, Frattini, and Miles into this battle, Alex.
Yeah, I was about to say this race has broken up into three little pockets of excitement, and now two of them have merged, as we see. Surprisingly, though, it hasn't let Bury run away. What it has done, though, is it brought the other three into it in Philippides, Frattini, and Miles. But in the background, I want to sort of focus on this battle here with Gardner, Witten, and Amadio. They continue in their own three-way battle there. I've seen a few side-by-sides happening there. Witten, who's done a few laps here this week. Gardner's done a million laps here this week. But Witten certainly having the pace and the slight edge on these two by the looks. But let's not leave our battlers up front for too long. Hendrickson now closed that gap down with Bury, and will, now that he's made the move, it took him a better part of 6 or 7 laps to make that one position happen in amongst the cut and thrust of that front battle. But immediately you can see the pace differential that wasn't evident in qualifying coming to bear. He's almost sort of left Espes in his wake, as we see Dimitri Philippides taking a defensive line in the background now from Frattini. Side by side, they exit much like their counterparts in the lead pack. Side by side, they will continue, and it will be, by the looks of it, Frattini who gets it done around the outside of turn 1 to open up the inside at 4. Will they continue side by side? He gets left the room, but Philippides pulls in behind and is now ceded the position. They got it done this time. The warm-up race, they couldn't manage it, but this time they've got it done cleanly, and Frattini sets his eyes on the front pack.
I guess they learned lessons from the race of the past, getting through what happened in that last one, and they've turned that into an excellent little battle, and that's actually allowed Miles to close up even further on those two alone. And he's probably going to be in striking distance of Philippides here as they go into turn 1. But back with our top 3, and Espes has not exactly been closing up this gap between himself and Hendrickson right up on the gearbox of Bury as he goes for the late lunge into turn 1. And I don't think he'll be able to get it done here, as Bury definitely pinched him down to that corner, which is going to leave him with the advantage here as they come back into turn 4, Alex.
Wow, there was a car width, and no more. It's up the inside of 4, throws Espes. Oh, and he runs it wide as well, running Hendrickson out of route. They are definitely elbows out, these guys. Through 6, 7 now. On the exit of 7 now, these guys still got straight. Wings, cars, everything. Everything still looks straight. Bury loving this. The two drivers behind him battling over the scraps on the podium. Hendrickson will be under trouble. He'll move straight over to the right and then back to the left to leave only a car width on the outside. So Espes, will he come under? No, he won't. Bury hoping like anything to get a break here. It's already out to 8 tenths, and it has already sucked up the gap that they developed while Dimitri Philippides and Frattini were battling. Miles now shows the nose on the inside of Frattini just to try and put him offline. He won't get it done on the outside of 4, but has he compromised Philippides enough to have a look on the inside? No, I don't think he has. Meanwhile, up front, they're back to trying to catch Bury. Bury this whole time has done a stellar job at defending and really forced the hand of the drivers behind to fight amongst themselves about who's going to have the next crack at him.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. But if anyone's going to close up this little bit of a gap again, it is going to be Tim Hendrickson. We know he's got a lot of pace in the skippies. He took a bit of a break. He came back, had a little bit of ring rust, but he got rid of that ring rust almost instantaneously. Been up the front battling, and this is where Tim Hendrickson is in his element. He likes the challenge. He likes to have the fun, and he loves a good chess match of a battle, and this is exactly what he's got. This is completely playing into his wheelhouse right now, Alex.
Yeah, interestingly, Espes has held back just for a lap to allow Hendrickson to catch up, use the draft and his pace to catch up onto the back of Bury once again. That he has done, and I imagine it'll be returned to your regular viewing shortly as these three will get back at it, and perhaps even 4 now with Frattini all over the back of Espes. He's been brought right back into this, put a little distance between himself and his former sparring partner in Philippides, who's now left to battle it out with Miles. But I can imagine as things heat up, can you imagine? We're only just coming through the second half of starting the second half of the race now. 23 laps of action-packed racing here tonight, and we're only halfway through. We've already seen enough to keep you interested already, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. This is what gets my adrenaline pumping, the blood thumping. This is the kind of racing that really just, hits that right spot for me. As now going into turn 1 this time, we've got a big speculator being thrown by Hendrickson. Is it going to turn into a move? He's not really that far up along the side, so he's going to drip back into the second spot there just to cover off Espez, because he doesn't want Espez to sneak his nose up the inside as they go into turn 4. And he's going to do it anyway, using all of the inside and then some. Oh, that's got to be a slowdown. I've put slowdowns on that curb by doing that exact same thing. And if he hasn't got a slowdown, I'd be absolutely shocked, Alex.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, he pulls off. Good call, Corey. He's cool. He's pulled straight over. Frattini gets a freebie. Now it's Frattini in between Espez and Hendrickson. That battle will struggle to continue in any earnestness until those situations change. And apologies, folks, I just missed that. I went to catch the battle of Philippides and Miles and just missed that slowdown as it was picked up, but I think we saw the outcome there as this time now Hendrickson eyes much more firmly focused forward. This time Viore defending around the outside almost. Sorry, the inside. He's been defending around the outside. Interesting part about that hairpin is there is no camber. It's very flat. It's surprising to see people often defending around the outside, and it perhaps pays pay to my theory around pole position being on the outside of the circuit into turn 1, which is very counterintuitive. It does give you the inside into turn 4 though, and as we've seen so often tonight, Viore already defending around the outside of turn 1 to get the inside at turn 4 hairpin. Seems to be working all right for him. Now, what's Hendrickson got for him at this stage? We're at the middle to closing stage. Left foot. Oh, Frattini so deep under the brakes. You can see the smoke coming off the front brakes there from Frattini. The Italian trying to close up as much as he can, but compromising his exit speed at the same time, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. But with the way these two are battling at the front, as Hendrickson sneaks underneath of Viore now going into the final corner, Frattini having that bad exit. He's got the draft to help him stay with them.
Oh,
and look at this,
wide.
we're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. We haven't seen this yet. And Viore, he's left enough room for just Hendrickson as Frattini very smartly there pulls out of it. But what's going to happen now into turn 4? Hendrickson's going to be stuck on the outside. It's going to be left vulnerable to Frattini if he can't stay up there. Frattini now is up the inside of Hendrickson. Oh, it's action aplenty right now, Alex.
Hendrickson dead set pushing Viore through the turn 4 hairpin. Get going, son. I've got Frattini on my inside. He was pushing him nose to tail. This time chucks it up the inside at the final hairpin there at turn 9. But Viore will once again have the drive out of the corner. Hendrickson will put all sorts of pressure. Will he go to the inside this time round? Yes, he will. He's much further up the inside in the entry to the final corner. This time literally side by side. He will get a strong drive and may well be clear by the time he is clear by the time they exit the corner. Only in so much as he can then take a very close to natural line into turn 1. Of course, you cut towards the apex in the braking zone there. You're braking a straight line, but more pointed towards the apex there. 4 cars in this battle now as Espez right in amongst it. Viore getting shuffled back, and Frattini taking the opportunity to go by. Viore will be on the inside there. Frattini on the outside. Frattini's got it done. In amongst that, he took full advantage. Viore's been shuffled. Espez now coming through the inside of the, whoa, blinky bill there. Frattini's gone, I think. I don't know if he got a touch there or what, but it looked like he blinked out of existence briefly. And Hendrickson now off to the races and potentially away with it. Let's quickly go back and have a look at a replay. See if I can't pick it up here. No, that's a bit too early. Let's check this out. Yeah, this was it. What happens to Frattini here? He just blinks out of existence, comes back on, blinks out again. Wow, that's really weird. Like, I don't know if on his screen it looked like it was contact or what, but they were all very clear. Just a weird one there, Corey. As we jump back to live pictures, back up the front, Hendrickson's got half a second, a little over half a second here on Espes and Viore. Viore, who has dominated this race, driven superbly. He was attacked and attacked time after time by Espes and Hendrickson, and finally Hendrickson found the way by just pushing his buttons through this very section here to set up the overtake through the final corner, and did a fantastic job there, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. Hendrickson, as I said, he loves that kind of chess match kind of battle, and he definitely showed that he was the antagonizer at the right time and took full advantage of it. Same too for Espes and Viore, unluckily all the way down in third now, but that's not going to take away from the amazing first half of the race that he did have, and he's still right up there battling for the top 3, Alex. So as long as he doesn't bin it here in any way, shape or form, he still comes home with a podium, which is excellent. And, you know, it's definitely going to be a great result to put on the mantle, but it's not a win.
Nah, that's right. I think, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough track. Given it's so hard to pass, you know, there's still five or six laps to go. Any other track, I'd probably put Viore in front if I was Frattini, let him bridge the gap, and then try and pass him with a lap or so to go. But at this track, it's so hard to pass. You don't want to let him through. You'd almost settle for P2 because you're not getting it back if you let him pass. So you saw how hard it was for Frattini, for Espes to get through there, and how hard it was for Frattini indeed to get through. Gutted for Frattini. He played some absolute masterstrokes there in getting past Viore when he did. Only then to have been brought unstuck through a screen freeze or a network problem or something. We'll call it hardware failure. Just devastating. Meanwhile, in the second pack now, we've got the leader of it in P4, Adam Miles. Frattini's back into it now, all the way back down in P5, and Philippides in P6, right up the tail, rolls almost reversed from the previous race. Amazing to think that Frattini started this race in P6 at a track that is so notoriously difficult to pass at. He was in P2 when he had that network issue, Corey.
Yeah, it's amazing, Alex, to think about it when you look at it like that. As we now just have 4.5 laps to go, it's going to be hard to hold off Hendrickson here, as Hendrickson all the way in the lead, and you know, still half a second gap. And that's definitely not coming down. But the battle is on between Frattini and Miles coming down to the final corner. Miles getting very defensive. I think there might have even been a little bit of contact on the straight. But Miles has got all the work to do right now to try and maintain fourth over Frattini, who was looking very aggressive. Disappointed that that happened, and he dropped all the way down, Alex.
Yeah, he's Adam Miles sitting there. Car number 2 here. Hasn't been happy with his pace all week, but I know he'd be happy with a top 5 finish here in the big one. Under all sorts of pressure from Frattini. Meanwhile, Pablo Espes, I don't think it was a clean lap, but he's done a 102.8, which is right up there with the best in the week, actually. And if it hadn't had a 1X, much like they're picking up here at the moment, probably would have been the fastest lap of the week. But these guys really putting on a job, putting on a show. Now, as we come in to cross the line with 3 to go, Espes has closed that gap up enough to potentially have a crack, but in the background, well, speaking of having a crack, Miles forces Frattini around the outside. Will Frattini come underneath him? No, it's too much of an overlap to come underneath. He's going to try and hold it around the outside and then come back under. I don't know that. Yeah, you see, it's interesting. If you run it wide there, you can come back underneath and get the inside run into turn 1. It's kind of okay to defend around the outside there, but very difficult to get an overtake done around the outside at turn 1, as this time he's going to try it around the outside of turn 4. Does that leave him vulnerable to Philippides though, Corey?
Oh, it almost did. It looks like there was a slight little bit of contact there between Philippides' wing and the left rear of Frattini. As they're continuing to battle on, though, this is probably going to be the battle to watch from here on out, with just a balance of, you know, just over 2 laps to go here. The front pack look like they're just kind of chilled out right now, not really battling too hard. But this second pack, as I say that, you see Hendrickson getting defensive. But this second pack's definitely going to be something to watch, Alex.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, here we go. Here's the over-under. Looks like Espes is doing exactly what I was talking about, coming underneath Hendrickson. Has he got the all clear? Yes, he has. Hendrickson has to give the space. Will he be able to defend around the outside? There's more life in this one yet, Corey, with 1 and a bit to go. Oh, Espes forced to come back in. Hendrickson holds him off. Meanwhile, Miles does similarly with the second pack. Pockets of excitement once again to open season 29 as we jump back up to the front. Fiore setting the fastest lap last time round with the 2:93, the fastest clean lap at least. And these guys are hammer and tong. All the marbles. Oh, Espes. Nah, that'll cost him. That'll cost him. He will not be close enough. Oh, how's the braking into there, though? Into turn 9. These two behind Frattini. All sorts of frustrated to see tyre smoke coming off. Adam Miles up the back straight. Yeah, the exit of that chicane, Corey, it cost him. I don't think Espes will be close enough to have a look at turn 1.
Oh, definitely not, Alex, but he's going to be in with a shout for the final lap, though, as around the outside once more goes Frattini in the final corner. And this battle in the second pack still absolutely on in earnest. Adam Miles straight down to the inside to defend. Frattini looking for the outside pass here. It can be done, although, as you said, incredibly difficult. Miles takes the advantage on that, going back to the front pack, and they're side by side into turn 4. And Hendrickson takes the advantage for that one, Alex.
Yeah, the second pack was sideways through. Both Miles and Frattini was sideways through turn 1. Meanwhile, it is hot and heavy here in the front pack still. Espes, this will be his last chance. Hendrickson takes a defensive line here into 9. Will that give? Oh, again. Espes trying to push him out of the corner. Hendrickson pushes him off. Oh, neither will be happy. Oh, he's come back out to defend now from Fiore. Fiore's back into this. He's got the outside run. Hendrickson's left the door open. No. Oh, I thought he'd left the door open there for Espes, who might have had the run, but that's allowed Fiore to come back. Who gets it? It'll be Hendrickson. Then Fiore's got it from Espes. Fantastic result. The second pack coming through now, led by Adam Miles from Frattini and Philippides. Wow, there was all sorts of action and drama in that one. It was like, I don't know, some sort of, I was going to say romance novel, but there was no love lost out there, Corey.
Oh, absolutely not, Alex. This is Top Gun if it was adapted to Skippy racing, because action aplenty. Two 3-car packs there battling it out for the top positions in their respective packs. What more could we ask for the start of season 29, as we're just waiting for Russell Clark and Jeff Randall to come across the line. Russell Clark's going to come home in 15th, Jeff Randall's 16th, and that should be about all the drivers done and dusted now, Alex.
Yeah, that's everyone. Wow, really enjoy that. You know, this is such a tough race, such a tough track to pass at, and yet some of the best going around, making everything of it, you know, just, oh, fantastic. Really enjoyed that one. All right, let's go check out our results for round 1. What an opening round for season 29. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo is your winner this evening, as it says on your screen. Fantastic drive there from Hendrickson. Really enjoyed that one. Fiore, who stuck it on pole and led for the first half of the race, and, you know, almost in some form of justice, comes home in second tonight. He was very patient on the back there, defended brilliantly throughout, and it took a spectacular move from Hendrickson to get by him in the end. Espes was in amongst it right up to his eyeballs. Those front 3 throwing Frattini at one stage there, and it was just amazing stuff. Can't wait to watch it back, actually. Espes ran out your podium, and his return to Sunday Night Lights in P3. P4 tonight, Adam Miles from Miles Head Racing. Again, like I said, not too happy with his pace here this week. Worked on it throughout the weekend and comes away with P4 in the big one. Congratulations to Adam. Dario Frattini for FPM Cube Controls. What a drive. Like I said, you didn't think you could pass here. The guy was up from P6 to P2 in the big one at one point before, I don't know what sort of hardware failure took a hold of him, but hopefully we'll find out after the race. Unfortunate for Dario, otherwise he was on for a great finish as well, but still top 5. Not a bad result either. Dimitri Philippides, top drive from Dimitri. He's been strong here all week and rounds out the week with a P6 in the big one. Luke Whitten for Team Milo. Luke, do me a favour. Go to the Discord, see the instructions about how to get your name in the overlays, mate. Do that and we'll get Team Milo up there, up in the top 10 each and every week if we can. P7 for Luke here tonight. P8 for Kevin Budgeon on his return to the season for Nippy Racing. Good to see Kevin out there again. Loris Amadio, another welcome returning driver here for Wave Italy Racing Team. He finishes 9th. Rounding out top 10 was Captain 499, Neil Gardner, after his 1,000,002 races this week. Finishes with the top 10 in SNL. Rafa Cerna, well, I think's raced with us at least once before. The Spaniard was snuck in as the last driver, finishes inside the points in P11. Rounding out your points for SNL here tonight is Braden Martin, the returning Locked On Racing driver, who finishes in 12th after a long hiatus from the series. Paul Wilson in 13th here tonight, hopefully with a big smile on his dial, as was the solo clown. No shutter here tonight for Greg Adams, though, P14, just outside the points, and hopefully he had a good run and enjoyed it. Russell Clark for Team Milo, the boss man himself, down in 15th, ahead of Jeff Randall from UKNI. And Sam Devantia retired after a first lap incident, unfortunately. Not a great way for the Cowboy to return, but hopefully we'll see him back a bit more this season, and we can get on with things. Speaking of getting on with things, Corey, there's a few people in the green room. Who do you reckon we bring up out of that lot?
Oh, let me have a little look-see, because I was just actually looking at something while we were going through the rundown of the results there, and Tim Hendrickson does not have a single registered lap throughout the entire race, which is crazy, because we have a 17x limit, so he didn't get a 1x every single lap, but that is just nuts that he didn't get a single recorded lap for the entire race.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
Still maintained position. I'm having a look at it right now, Alex, and you would not. But I'm going to take a screenshot of this and show it to you.
Well, I can't see a lap on there either.
Nuts.
Yeah, I'm not calling you a lie, mate. I can't see one either, but I find that somewhat incredulous. Anyway, let's bring up the man himself to have a chat. Mr. Tim Hendrickson. Tim, wow. I mean, they said overtaking couldn't be done here, but there was a bit of it out there tonight, mate. How was that for you?
Bit of hip and shoulder will get you past some nose to rear end contact makes me drift quite wide into the onto the last straight on the last lap.
Mate, I may have said hip and shoulder or elbows out once or twice here tonight, I have to admit.
It's so bloody tough to overtake here. Everyone fighting for the same centimeter of space, and if you've got a good group, it's probably some of the best racing you're gonna get. People say this track's terrible because you can't overtake. You can overtake. You just need to work for it instead of just sitting there and taking the draft every lap. This is way more exciting. It pushes your own skills and talents way more than those boring drafty tracks.
Mate, yeah, I agree. There's a lot to being fast here, but there's also a lot to racing here. Now, talk us through the way I saw it. Tell me how you saw it. I saw the move you made to take the race lead. It started with putting Viore offline into the turn 9 hairpin, forcing him to defend into the final one and coming underneath him into turn 1. Tell us, is that how it was done? Was I off the mark?
Oh, that's basically the way to overtake here. It's not about where you do it. It's more about taking your time, setting up the overtake, making sure your opponent is off his usual line, and then slowly forcing him, lap by lap, forcing him into the line you want him to take so you can actually overtake. That's the nice thing about it. You actually need to set up your overtake. You need to work for it. It's just the best feeling when you pull it off, and it often doesn't work, but you get back in line, you do your thing, and you work hard.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And I was very pleased to see that strategy come out. And as you say, you have one crack, you try and figure it out, but it's and we saw that overtake develop over 3/4 of a lap essentially, but then as you say, you've got to set it up for a few laps. It's a good thing. People say 23 laps is a long time around here, but sometimes it takes half a dozen to set a move like that up, which is a very engaging challenge, right?
And if you've got a race like that, didn't I just start a minute ago?
That's it.
It's over already. What, huh?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right, mate. Well done. That was really enjoyable to watch and to call, and I'm glad to hear that you had fun out there as well, mate. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Well, first of all, you guys for, putting on another broadcast, supporting the series for another for another season. It's greatly appreciated. You guys put in a lot of work, and it's just amazing to see how many people show up every week. And of course, my lovely Team Torpedo, the most supportive team you can wish for. There is no better team.
Very good. Glad to hear it. Hopefully, we might even see a couple more torpedoes out there before
I'm
season's
trying
end.
to get them out, but they're just being lazy bums, Alex. Tell them.
I will.
Should they go? Should they go out on track?
Yeah, I think they should. I'd love to see it. All right, mate. Great to talk to you. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. And yeah, mate, we'll see you out there on track again soon.
Thanks, lads.
There you go, Corey. Team Torpedoes, Tim Hendrickson. A lot of elbows out. I'm pretty sure that's how they all enjoyed it tonight, because there was a bit of it out there. And to be fair, when you give as good as you get, then hopefully everyone walks away satisfied. And look, it goes to tell you, I don't think I saw a single bent wing. I didn't see anything that would suggest they'd had any of the rubbing that they actually had out there. So hopefully everyone walks away and had a good night.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. The only person that I would expect to be disappointed is Spratini after whatever happened to him happened, and Sam Devanture as well after being involved in that crash. But Tim Hendrickson, he is just absolutely insane, and I told you he loves it when he has to battle, where he has to work for it. He loves that chess match that goes on for 3, 4, 5 laps, and you could tell it in his voice when he was sitting there talking to you. He was just absolutely overjoyed and over the moon with how that race went, and he definitely had a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you be happy after winning that one too, right? Anyway, we got a few in the green room. We'll go in finishing order tonight. We'll bring up Mr. Adam Miles, who, as I said a couple of times, Adam, you weren't real happy with your pace here tonight, but walk away with P4 in what was quite an exciting race, I've got to be honest. Really enjoyed calling it. Hopefully you're happy with the result.
Yeah, I think I have to be, given, as you say, I knew coming here this was not going to be my track. It wasn't my track 4 seasons ago when we were here, and there's just 2 tenths here. I just can't find, no matter how many people try to tell me which corners I'm doing wrong, I just can't find it. So P5 was probably better than I expected. On pace, I should have been behind Dimitri and Dario on the grid. Maybe I was behind Dimitri. I was ahead of Dario. And then the race, yeah, just happy to work with the people around me for the first bit, and then when we lost, I think Dario had his sim freezing. He flew up in the air. That lost us the front 3, and I thought, right, that's it. Elbows out from here to the end. So it was just we're probably losing a second a lap, but just had to defend the P4 because that was better than I expected, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I can see there comes a time and a place where you got to switch from that play nice with others and share the toys to it's every man for himself, so to speak. And I think that decision paid dividends for you. Only up the 1 position, but they're gold around here. So congratulations, mate. Great drive. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Just everyone that's been super quick this week. Tim, nice to see Tim here. He's been quick. Rasmus is quick. Pablo, Kane, Halliburton, nice to see him back in the skippies as well. So it's been an interesting group of people. Really quick guys. I mean, the warm-up race had 4 drivers over 7K, which was quite a while since that's happened. So if we can keep the momentum going, get some top drivers in, then I think this SNL in particular is going to be a really strong one.
Yeah, mate, I'm hoping so. 3 fresh tracks to kick us off. Strong start, and the fact that we got a 5.5K soft this week, it may not have been here tonight, but I think once we get our timings and everything sorted, the focus will be here, and hopefully the racing will be as good as it was this week, because this was a bottler. So thanks for all the work you do, mate, as well, and we look forward to seeing you out there and maybe getting that maiden win this season.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks, mate. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
There you go, Corey, one of the good guys out of Miles, who I think walks away happy with P4, although still chasing his maiden win here on a Sunday night.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And I absolutely think it's going to happen this season. I've got all the faith in the world that Adam will be able to do it. So, Adam, I'm putting all the pressure on you. You've got to get a win this season.
I think he's
I am,
piling it on himself as well.
but yeah, I am calling it now. I am expecting him to get a win this season. If he doesn't, then I'll be severely disappointed in him.
Very good. All right, it's time to find out the mystery of what went on with Mr. Frattini. Who, now before I start, Dario, congratulations on what was a really strong drive to go from P6 to P2, albeit momentarily before whatever happened was a really strong performance. But before we run through that, tell us what happened that took you out of the race.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was probably definitely my best race of the week. Was just going so fast, I don't really know how and why. But yeah, what happened was approaching the chicane and my screen froze, and I thought in a split second that my game had crashed, but then I could feel my wheel still turning. There was still some force in it, so I just turned left, hoping to go down the escape road and the main layout, so I wouldn't crash anybody. And then the image just came back, and I was there to serve a 3 seconds penalty.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, that's devastating because, like I said, and we said it a few times, so tough to get passing done here, but then to move up, you know, from where you started to where you were at the time, and just some of the strategy involved in that, as we saw throughout the race, in making those passes that take laps to generate and laps to get stuck or make them stick, all to then come undone with technical failures. Oh, it's equipment failures or whatever we call it. It happens in real life racing, happens in sim racing, but disappointing on both circumstances. But congratulations, mate. Really impressed with the drive you put on there tonight. Hopefully that'll lead you to bigger and better things this season. But congratulations. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Well, thank you again. Obviously, to you guys coming back season after season, and the racing is amazing, and really so thanks to you putting all this all together, and also to my girlfriend who's waiting for me to eat because I really did want to make this interview.
Very good. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you to the lovely girlfriend of Dario Frattini for waiting for this all to be done. And look, mate, I hope the season goes bigger and better for you from here on out, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
I sure hope so. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, Corey, Dario Frattini, who looked really impressed with where he managed to put his car, and unfortunately just didn't go his way this week, but hopefully there'll be better results for him ahead in the season.
Well, that's right, Alex. This is only race number 1 in a 12-week season, so he's got plenty of time to make it up, and this might end up becoming a drop round for him, although he did fight back. He did still get a top 5, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at, considering what happened to him could have ended so much worse.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. One more interview we've got left, though. We've got Dimitri Philippidis. Great to hear one of the nice guys come up and have a chat, mate. Great pace here this week. Great quality in P4. P6, great finish. Perhaps not where you wanted given we started, but hopefully you enjoy the racing here tonight as you have done throughout the week. Oh, I haven't brought him up. Oh, no. Dimitri, sorry, but I was talking to you. I didn't bring you in. Great quality, great race. P6 in the big one, mate. Hopefully you enjoyed it out there.
Can you hear me? Oh, you can, right?
Yeah, I got you now.
I'm not too good with Discord.
You're good, mate. Go ahead. How was the racing for you?
I think I actually closed it.
No. Have you got us there, Dimitri? No, I think...
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was definitely better in qualifying than in the race. I mean, yeah, my battling side to side, I always seem to make mistakes. I don't know if it's just the pressure or something, but it's been like that all week. But yeah, I've been happy with the pace. Hopefully, I can keep it up on other tracks during the season.
Yeah.
Definitely some tracks I'm better than others, so let's see how we go next week.
Absolutely. We got a bit of time delay, mate. I don't know what's going on there.
It's definitely been a fun week.
Are you listening to me Discord or are you listening to me anyway? Dimitri's also streaming. I don't know if he's listening to us.
Sorry, I can't hear you at all. I said I'm pretty crap with Discord.
All right.
I really can't hear anyone.
Well, hopefully we'll get it worked out. But mate, I just want to say thank you for the racing this week. I've enjoyed racing with you, and I think the pace here this week's been great, and it showed here tonight in the big one. I'm hoping you get this in time. Anyway,
I can hear you on your Twitch, but I can't hear you on Discord.
All right. Well, we might leave it there, mate. I wish you all the best for the racing in the coming week, and we'll talk to you again soon. Oh, I'm going to leave it there. That was a little bit difficult. Hopefully we'll get Dimitri sorted with his Discord in the coming weeks, mate. But I thought it was a really strong performance from a guy who's had great pace here all this week. I enjoyed racing with him, certainly. We had some great battles. You know, I think hopefully it shows what he's got to offer for the racing to come, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. He's one of the drivers who has been just progressively getting better and better as the weeks have gotten on. And he's been showing so much pace here this week. He showed a lot of pace here in the race, as the replay just shown him making an overtake there to get up into fourth for the brief moment. So, you know, he's definitely one to watch in the future. And I don't think he'll be too far away from getting a win himself, because, you know, he's definitely been stepping it up so far already this season. It's going to be a very interesting season to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. He's one of the good guys out there as well. So there's a lot of good guys in this community, and plenty of them come out here on a Sunday night, which is fantastic to see. But that, folks, might just about do us. Corey, do you want to tell the folks what you got coming up this week?
So this week over on my personal channel and the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator, we have around... Oh, I don't even know what round it is, but the next race of the Output Racing League from the Texas Motor Speedway, sponsored by Autism Awareness, 100 laps. It should be a great race out there. And on Saturday, I'll be out at the Pinjar Speedway for the first round of the West Coast Outlaw Karts, and you can catch all the action for that live and free over on my Facebook page, facebook.com/SpeedwayMeme69. And then it's back here with you next week, Alex, as we take a look at these guys wrestling their way around Laguna Seca.
Yeah, looking forward to that one immensely. All right, folks, everything Top Split and SNL is on your screen at the moment. Top Split Discord is where you'll find us, and the community and the results and all the announcements around SNL. Twitch is where you find us each and every Sunday night. Top Split TV, and I've been streaming a little bit myself in the last little bit. And the Top Split YouTube is where you'll find this and all the other race replays for MNL and SNL history, all the 29 seasons of everything that we got, and it's all good. All right, folks, thank you very much for joining us as we move into the new season. The continued support is very, very much appreciated, and we do love doing this. As we say, it's for the community, by the community. And on behalf of Mr. Corey Steinhauser, the chaotic one himself, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say until next time, ciao for now.